It is Book Review Sunday, episode 2 for today's um, 3 episodes of 3 weeks from me being sick. And this episode is a special one because we are doing 100% alien romances by the same author, Nancey Cummings. So let's get started with Havik. So, Havik is the 9th book in the Warlord Bride series. And so we've been through a lot of different aliens with their human mates, and it is now Havik's turn. And I give Havik 5 stars. This one has a really great redemption arc. So Havik is a side character from the previous book, Jaxar or Jaxar. I'm not really sure how I'm supposed to be pronouncing those, so I will try my best. So I didn't actually review Jaxar on this channel because I read his story out of order accidentally, and his story was one of the first books by Nancey Cummings that I read. And then I realized it was a good chunk of the way through a series, and so then I found the first books and made my way back through them. So in Jaxar's story, his human mate was previously married to Havik, and they did not have a good marriage, mostly due to his father getting in the way because his father thinks that humans are weak and don't make good mates. And so he pulls some strings behind the scenes to make their marriage fall apart. And it takes Havik a really long time to recognize that he was part of the problem because he was allowing his dad to make those decisions. And he viewed himself as a victim for a really long time until he realized, I should have been stronger. I should have been more protective. But by the time he comes to that realization, his first wife has moved on with a different alien. And so he's kind of in this headspace of, well, I lost my mate and I don't deserve another one. So when Talia comes into his life, he is very against having a mate and doesn't take to her flirting right away. In fact, he's very, very rude and judgmental towards her. But then as he acknowledges his attraction towards her and acknowledges the mistakes he made with his first wife, he's going to redeem himself in both of those aspects. And it's really wonderful. I love a good redemption arc. Talia is amazing. She's witty, she's confident, she is not scared of the aliens. She has fun teasing them, she has fun flirting with them, and she's just a really great character that I enjoyed being in her head. And I love that they get a second adventure halfway through the book. So the main adventure that they're on is they are put together as partners to track down and capture and arrest smugglers who are transporting and selling endangered species, rare animals, and females of all human females, females from other planets, to basically sell them to the highest bidder. You know what type of auction that is. So they track down the smugglers and make their arrests about halfway through the book. And so a little more than halfway. So when I got to that point and saw that there was 10 chapters left, I knew that there was going to be more to the story. But I thought it was going to still be connected to the smugglers, and it totally wasn't, but it was great. And so that second adventure I won't give away, but basically they Havik returns to his home planet, and a lot of drama, family drama ensues. So his father is not done meddling in his business. And then at the very end, we get closure from past stories. I don't think this counts as a spoiler. Havik does get closure with his first wife, so that he can fully give himself to his second wife. And all of these Mahdfel Bride stories are a spicy heat level. Our second alien romance for this episode is Lorran by the same author. Lorran is a very comedic side character in several of the earlier books, and it's finally his turn to have his romance. I give his story 4 stars. The meet cute, which is how Lorran and his love interest Wynn meet each other, is in a stowaway type of scenario. So in this world building, these Earth women on their birthdays, if they are not already engaged or married, or if they don't have any children, they get picked up by the US military, taken to a testing center, and if they have a match, they are immediately transported to wherever their match is in the universe. And so Wynn has never been tested, and she's in her late 20s because she's been engaged 2 different times. The first engagement was to keep her from being tested to be a bride. So her family was paying the son of their neighbors to pretend to be engaged to her. But engagements have a 5-year expiration date. So if you don't get married in 5 years, your engagement is null and void, and the military comes and picks you up and tests you. So Wynn's first engagement runs out of time, and she gets engaged again to a different guy, but this engagement is real. She was actually dating him. She was actually in love with him. And then he ends up breaking up with her after a few years. They never get married. And so now it's her birthday is looming, and she has to get tested. So she decides that she wants to be in control of being tested. So instead of waiting for her birthday to get picked up by the military, she just walks into the volunteer center and says, all right, test me so that I can know. And she ends up getting a match and sent to the battle cruiser, the Judgment, which is where most of our male characters in this series are. So during this time, the Judgment communications are down for a lot of political reasons that are built up throughout the different books. And so Lorran has no idea that she's on her way. And so she arrives, and half of the warriors are actually leaving to go to their home planet for their version of Christmas. And so the security guy who is there when arrives thinks that that's where Lorran is going. So he puts her on the ship that he knows Lorran is assigned to and says, your mate will show up shortly. Well, Lorran is not going home for his planet's version of Christmas. He has actually been sent on a mission to go rescue any potential survivors on an attacked smaller battle cruiser. And so she ends up going on this mission with him, and it's very dramatic and funny and sweet. So Wynn herself, I think, is a very unique character. She's artsy, and she's all into women's rights and save the planet. But at the same time, she grew up hunting with her dad and loves to go hunt in the woods. And so that is a way that her and Lorran do bond while they're stranded on an abandoned planet, is to go hunting in that planet's jungle. And there is some adding to previous character stories. So our couple from the 3rd book, Milamon, gets a little chapter where we get to learn how their relationship is going, and how they're doing with trying to build their family. And the ending sets us up for our next story, which is really exciting. So side character from Havik's story, Ren, Havik's best friend, by the end, I'm like, he better have his own story. And sure enough, his is after Lorran's. So I'm really excited to read and review his. There was one thing that I wish I had seen in this story is that when she does her paintings, when she does her sketches, she frames most of her artwork with some spiral, the exact same spiral pattern. And Lorran notices it and says, "What does that mean?" She goes, "I don't know. It's the tattoo of the Mahdfel warrior who saved me during the Earth invasion." And he's like, "Well, we can find him if you want to um, meet him." And she's just like, "Well, I don't know. I don't think I'm anything to him. I was just a random human that he saved." And Lorran says, "You're not nothing. And I want to meet him so I can thank him for saving my future mate." And it just ends like that. And we don't ever find out who it is. So I'm really hoping that we meet him in a later book. And if we do, then I'll go back and change this to 5 stars. But right now it feels incomplete. And so just like Havik's story, this one is a heat level of spicy. So if you find alien romances intriguing, and I want to challenge you if you're a romance reader to try alien romances. My very first alien romance, I did not know it was an alien romance. And so if I had, I probably would not have given it a try because I don't like alien invasion movies. And so I never considered that I would like an alien romance, but oh my goodness, they are my current guilty pleasure. So if you enjoy romance, give alien romances a chance. And Nancey Cummings is an author I recommend starting with. And I will see you at the next episode. We have one more today.